G'day, welcome back to Plugged In Australia. Today is Saturday, the 7th of February, as we're broadcasting to you from Sydney. In episode 10, we're going to go through some 5-star ratings, which should be giving us some confidence in affordable EVs, some detailed enhancements for the BYD Shark 6, alongside the brand's push to lead the market faster. Subaru's Trailseeker electric SUV is locked in with an impressive power and range. Some over-the-air updates for the Geely EX5, Kia's challenges with small models, and some information on an incentive, New South Wales incentive that is, for apartment charging and commuter perks, along with plenty of other information. Stick around, let's get into it. A strong batch of 5-star safety ratings under the latest ANCAP protocols, based on the Euro NCAP testing, has landed for several new electric and electrified models heading to Australia. It's boosting buyer confidence in these expanding brands. The Leapmotor B10 small electric SUV topped the group with exceptional scores: 93% adult occupant protection, so that's full points for driver in side impacts and oblique pole test, 95% child occupant maximum across all criteria, 84% vulnerable road users, and 86% safety assist, reflecting advanced structural design and comprehensive active systems like autonomous emergency braking, lane support, and speed assistance. That's fantastic. Over to the Zeekr 7X, the mid-size SUV. It followed closely at 91% for adult, 87% for child, 78% vulnerable road users, and 78% as well for safety assist. Geely delivered twins, the EX5 electric SUV and the Starray plug-in hybrid mid-size SUV, both 5-star, with the Starray at 90% for adult, 87% child, 86% vulnerable, and 82% assist. Kia's EV4 mid-size electric sedan earned 84% adult, so that's full marks inside and oblique pole, 86% for child, 77% vulnerable, and 81% in assists. These results highlight robust crash protection, effective pedestrian detection, and reliable driver assistance across the board. There were no major weaknesses flagged. For us Australian buyers, Geely and Zeekr are newer arrivals with growing affordable lineups. Leapmotor entering the compact segment, and Kia strengthening its EV credentials. The high scores validate the engineering in these Chinese and Korean options, often at sharp prices, as safe family or daily choices on our roads. BYD has detailed significant upgrades for the 2026 Shark 6 plug-in hybrid ute, addressing feedback and strengthening its position against the Ranger and Hilux. The new 2-litre turbo petrol engine produces 180 kilowatts. That's up from 135 kilowatts in the 1.5 litre that's in there at the moment, paired with an upgraded front electric motor at 200 kilowatt, which is up from 170, and unchanged the 150 kilowatt rear motor for a combined system output of 345 kilowatts of power, 750 newton meters of torque, delivering strong acceleration and efficiency. Now, to put that in a little bit of perspective for you, the Ford Ranger Raptor with its 3-litre twin-turbo V6 engine only delivers 292 kilowatts and 583 newton meters of torque. The torque comes in at 3,500 RPM, whereas the torque in the Shark 6 comes on, well, instantly. Just to give you a little bit of perspective. Brake towing capacity rises from 3.5 tonne up from 2.5, matching all the class leaders, with payload expected in between 930 and just a smidge over a tonne. Off-road enhancements include front and rear locking differentials for better traction in the mud or the sand. It will have a 2-speed rear transmission with a low-range crawl mode, and Australian tuned suspension for our varied conditions. electric-only range could reach 300 kilometres with a larger battery and the DMO hybrid system, with a claimed total combined fuel and electric usage of around 1,000 kilometres. A cab chassis variant is also in the plans for tradies and fleets needing custom bodies like tippers or service setups. Now, pricing remains very competitive, around $58,000 drive away for core models with local engineering input focusing on ride handling and calibration. BYD's strategy shifts from challenger to leadership, expanding dealers, service networks and the lineup to conquer the market faster, leveraging tech, value and now enhanced capability in the growing plug-in market. Now, just on the price, just to give you an idea, so we're looking at $58,000 drive away on the Shark. And in New South Wales, the drive away price for the Ford Ranger Raptor is $98,000. Now, that's for a white one. You add metallic paint and you can edge really close to that $100,000 mark. So you can almost buy two Sharks for the price of a Raptor. I know a lot of people would be not too pleased about that sort of comparison, but at the end of the day, you're looking at like for like, spec for spec. This is a very good comparison, and when you just look at it on the price, it is very, very compelling. Subaru has confirmed the Trailseeker all-electric SUV for Australia in the second quarter of 2026. It's being positioned as a rugged, all-terrain alternative to the Outback with raised ground clearance of about 211mm and focused styling. Dual electric motors delivering 280 kilowatt combined power, a fast 4.4 second 0 to 100 kilometer an hour acceleration. This will be Subaru's quickest road car to date and 1.5 ton towing capacity, suit light off-road or regional use. Powered by a 74.7 kilowatt hour CATL battery, which should provide up to 533 kilometers WLTP range. This will come with a 150 kilowatt DC fast charging, so you're looking at 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes. A vehicle to load output for powering all your gear on your trips. It will feature terrain modes, X mode for grip, and the full suite of safety that Subaru is known for. Pricing is estimated around $67,000 before on roads, competing with the Toyota BZ4X Touring, the Tesla Model Y, and the Zeekr 7X. Now, this is Subaru's second EV after the Solterra, emphasizing all-weather capability and the brand's all-wheel drive heritage in electric form. This should be ideal for Australian roads and conditions, and for those that really do love the Subaru brand. Geely EX5 mid-size electric SUV owners are receiving a major over-the-air update, adding full wired and wireless Android Auto compatibility, joining Apple CarPlay, which is already available, plus a drive setup one-touch option to silence intrusive alerts like lane keeping assist, fatigue monitoring, speed warnings, and door chimes. I hope all you other manufacturers out there are listening and paying attention to that. New quick access keys, expanded swipe down menu, and 3 pedestrian warning signs. You'll have a classic, a galactic, and a constellation. This will complete the package. So I believe a lot of people weren't too pleased. It sounded like an ice cream truck coming down the road. The rollout of this finished early February 2026 via home Wi-Fi. So if you have a Geely EX5 and you haven't had that update yet, you probably should be reaching out to your local dealer. Now, this directly addresses owner feedback on the EX5's otherwise strong package. 440 to 500 kilometer range options, fast charging, and the premium interior with some super duper sharp pricing. BYD is accelerating its Australian push, shifting from a challenger to leadership with expanded dealer networks. They are targeting another 50 plus sites, enhanced service and support, and a massive model onslaught for 2026, including, as we mentioned, the upgraded Shark 6, potential Seal 6 plug-in hybrid wagon, and more. The brand aims to conquer faster through value, tech, and local tuning. This will be leveraging the new vehicle efficiency standard to gain share in utes, SUVs, and sedans. This follows record sales growth, positioning BYD as a volume player against Toyota and Ford. New South Wales is expanding its public charging with the Jolt partnership, or extending its Jolt partnership, looking to add faster chargers at commuter car parks up to 150 kilowatts, up from their slower 25 kilowatt ones at the moment. Those ones are in locations like Barara, Cabramatta, Cronulla, and Penrith. For multi-unit living, the EV Ready Buildings grant program co-funds upgrades in strata complexes to make them EV capable. The government covers 80% of eligible costs up to $80,000 per building, plus fully funds feasibility studies beyond a $2,000 applicant contribution, targeting essential works like switchboard capacity increases, dedicated cabling runs, smart load management systems to balance power draw and avoid grid strain during peak times, and the installation of shared chargers in common parking areas. This enables bodies corporate to pass sustainability infrastructure with a simple majority rather than a unanimous agreement. This will overcome common barriers in older basements with outdated electrical systems or limited capacities. The program is particularly valuable across Sydney's dense apartment belts and regional New South Wales towns, making EV ownership viable for renters or owners without private garages and supporting broader adoption in high-density living. Genesis is launching a unique dedicated EV platform in 2027 for its pure electrics, hybrids, and e-rev models, distinct from the Hyundai Kia for premium dynamics, refinements, and luxury. It supports flagships like the GV90 SUV, which is the Neolon concept, and off-road variants with high power, long range, and bespoke interiors. We mentioned yesterday about the mining electrification. Fortescue advances their mining decarbonisation with 220-tonne battery electric haul trucks from Chinese suppliers. LFP batteries will be well over 1,000 kilowatt hours. Running dual motors for massive torque, regenerative braking, these will recover 15 to 20% energy on descents, and that with megawatt charging. Phased rollouts targets full fleet by 2030, cutting emissions by 60 to 70% and saving $560,000 per truck annually in fuel and maintenance. Volvo Buses Australia also unveiled the BZR electric coach platform. Customizable, so batteries will be up to 720 kilowatt hours for around 700 kilometers of range, and will come with a suite of advanced safety, your city brakes, your collision warnings, etc. for schools, charters and regional routes. Full-bodied and available Q3 2026. Zeekr has approved a 2026 upgrade for the X compact electric SUV with significant power increases. Rear drive models jumping to 250 kilowatt for quicker acceleration, all-wheel drive to 365 kilowatt combined, plus faster charging capabilities to reduce stop times, enhancing its sporty appeal against premium small SUVs. Denza, BYD's premium sub-brand, is preparing for the B7 extended range electric off-roader with local Australian tuning for suspension, ride and calibration to suit our conditions. It combines around 200 kilometre pure electric range from the battery with petrol extender for total flexibility over 1,000 kilometres. A little bit of info from across the ditch. New Zealand's January sales provide a close regional preview. Total market up 8.9% year on year, with electrified vehicles at 40.8% share. So that's a mix of pure BEVs at 6.4%, plug-in hybrids at 6.3%, and mild hybrids at 28.1%. The strong growth in affordable options often signals similar trends here shortly. And finally, something a little bit different, the VES EV VS9 electric hydrofoil ferry is now in commercial service in New Zealand, with a 98.6 kilowatt hour battery delivering 40 to 50 nautical mile range at speeds of up to 30 knots, carrying 10 passengers in comfort. It's 5 times more efficient than conventional boats, thanks to foil lift reducing drag with quiet operation and zero emissions, demonstrating marine electrification potential that could inspire Australian ferry operators on coastal or harbour routes. And that's your episode for today, probably one of our longest ones. Hopefully you learned something new. I know I sure did. We covered plenty of things on safety, infrastructure and future tech. I really do appreciate you listening to the podcast, and any feedback you have will be great. info@pluggedinaustralia.com.au, or just search us on Facebook, Plugged In Australia. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until next time, stay plugged in and charged. Ci vediamo.